I got to figure out what's going on in Australia. I heard it's the black's hot down there. All right, you should be my man.
Hey mate, how you going?
Good. What's going on in Australia? Are they really got the military everywhere and they got the lockdown?
No, that's a load of rubbish. So basically, we're in Queensland, so we're in a lockdown right now, and we got this Delta variant and stuff. But there's no military. The police are kind of doing what they have to do, but it's not as bad as they make it out of media. And like the numbers still don't add up, so it's a bit odd. Like I mean, Sydney's in lockdown as well, so it's not as bad, but these lockdowns are just affecting people more financially than anything else.
So
So,
what's locked down in Australia? Like
the,
what's closed, what's open, what do they allow you to do? Like what's the exact rules?
okay, so essential businesses, so like doctors' offices and stuff like that are open. Grocery stores are open, things like that are open, but only like one family member can go to these places. Like, so you reduced your limit of people leaving the house. You can still go out and exercise within a 10K radius of your house. So it's not as bad as other lockdowns per se, but
So if
it's
you go
still
11K
10
away or
kilometers.
whatever, or 11, whatever it is, that you can only work out a certain radius from your house.
Correct. It's
And
just
are bars open, clubs,
no,
restaurants,
nothing. So no restaurants. Everything's takeaway. So no dining, no bars, no clubs, nothing. So
gyms?
gyms are shut as well. That's like the worst part. So people are losing their minds. Like you see people walking around and stuff, but it's still like mental health is not a good thing right now here. So
Well, yeah, mental health and physical health. I mean,
yeah,
this was
absolutely.
my talking point back in March. Even when I wasn't sure how deadly it was and they didn't know the death rate, I was like, listen, I understand about this, but closing down gyms and there's no like we're mandating lockdowns but not workouts. There's something suspicious. A year and a half. It's August 4th today here. I don't know what time it is there, but just for people who know, I'm probably going to chop this clip to let you know. Anything else? So you can't go to a gym. You can't. This is in Australia right now. No
Yeah,
gym, no restaurants. You have to work out a certain amount. Anything else we should know? Because it's been open in America for the most part for a while now. We don't have to
yeah.
go.
Well, the worst part here is we can't leave the state. We can't even leave the country. So I got friends in America that even get to travel to Europe, and we're stuck here. So whether you have your vaccine or you have your double dose or anything, you're still stuck here. Borders are shut. So if you want to leave the country, unless it's for essential work, which they still won't give you an actual approval for it, you still can't leave. So we're deserted on an island. We can't
Is there
leave.
any protests? Or I heard from my one
We
buddy
had,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
go
had
ahead.
a couple of protests, but the protests are stupid. Like they're getting violent in protests. Like it's just stupid. Like a protest is a good protest when the outcome is achieved. When these guys are turning violent and turning on the police or whatever else, it's just what's the point? There's nothing to be gained. But I mean, they did a protest right before the lockdown, and it was just because everyone else was doing a protest, and it's probably the reason why it got spread. There was a couple of people that actually had COVID that went to these protests. So and people aren't following the rules to whatever it says, so it's affecting everyone. Like,
What did they want to do? Get 80% of people vaccinated because they
yeah,
would love.
that's the magic number. But it's 80% of the people that can get vaccinated, which is people over 40 still, or things like that here. And then they're saying they want to vaccinate.
Your sound cut off real quick. Let me see. There you go. Your sound cut off.
Can you
Continue.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the 80% number is just a magical thing. Like, I don't think it's going to be achieved anytime this year. Especially, we don't have supposedly enough vaccines to distribute and things like that. There's bigger problems here. It's just a big mismanagement. And like this herd mentality isn't working
Do a
out.
lot of people feel like you, or they're like, that's not that bad. We'll just do it for what?
Well, the majority kind of is going along with it. Like, there's a minority that always, I mean, whether it's a conspiracy theory or whatever, a minority always has something to say, and they don't represent the majority. People just want to just get on with it. We just want to go back to normal to whatever extent. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I want to show you something real quick. I'm gonna just change my thing on. I'm gonna flip my screen. So in
the,
Gibraltar, it's a small area. I'll just show people real quick because they actually got almost everyone vaccinated. I've been looking at the data myself. So this is vaccinations in Gibraltar. You can see July 19th, like down there. they got over 99% of people vaccinated. Like almost the whole place is vaccinated. But if you look at the cases, that's this summer and that's last summer, albeit very few amount of cases because there's not that many people there. The spike is way bigger for this summer despite the amount of people they got vaccinated. So, you know, I just find it interesting. They told us, you know, you got to get to 80%, 90%, and then we're going to hit herd immunity. And in Gibraltar, they're at 99%,
And
and they're having more cases than
That's
they
the
did
whole thing.
last summer.
I think people should more look at the fatality rate from COVID as opposed to anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't have a real plan. Like their plan, the numbers change, their stats don't add up. Like it's the government's really failing here, like in regards to that. So
Everywhere, I think in America, one thing because of maybe our culture, our past, etc., and the fact that we have 50 states with 50 different rules, the narrative really failed here. They're trying, you know, to put it back, but it's even failing in liberal areas where because Australia is kind of like, you know, almost a little more singular and easier to rule. Seems like a lot of people are falling into it, or I don't know what it is, but we're desperately trying to avoid that there, and I'm going pretty hard because yeah, not only are lockdowns like whatever. I mean, they destroy businesses, they destroy mental health, they destroy physical health, they stop people from working out. I mean, it's a nightmare, and I believe they kill more people than they save, and it's not even close.
absolutely.
So I pray for Australia and people, you know. And real quick before I take off, you can't okay, so they close down bars, they close down gyms, they close down restaurants. You guys are in a lockdown. You can't work out far away from your house. You can't leave the country as well.
You can't leave the country. So even if you have family passing away overseas, you have to put in a exemption as the government for them to approve it. Like I've got family and friends that have to go back to America and they can't get out of the country. So you got dying family and stuff. It's not as simple as it looks. So
that's crazy. Yeah. God bless you and stay strong. Stay mentally strong, stay physically strong if you can, and God bless you.
Cheers, man.
Thanks for spreading the word. Yeah, I knew Australia was interesting. We'll get someone else in. I got like less than 10 minutes.